Howdy, and welcome back to Cooking with Pants On. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I was on a phone call and it went longer than I expected, so I done got started. But you know what? I think you can catch up. You're smart, right? These are pork tenderloins. They've been in the fridge for a little bit, but I butterflied them, which means you cut a little bit and then you fold it over and you cut it again to where it's all about the same thickness. And you cover it up in seasoning, and this here's goat cheese, and this here's pickled garlic. We're going to do a video on it soon. You gotta pickle your own garlic, or you can buy it pickled, but I bet mine's better. Anyways, here we go from there. What you're going to want to do is get you some string. Butcher string works, but I reckon you could probably use about anything that won't melt. No fishing line. Sorry, tried it. Doesn't work. Roll it up and get you a mess of strings. If I gotta explain that, then I ought to just go to McDonald's or something. My lands. So then what you're gonna want to do is put the strings up under here after you roll it up, and we'll untie them. But I only got one hand. That takes two, so I'll show you when I'm done. You'll be able to figure it out, right? When you're done, that's what you get. Now, I've seen people do all sorts of knots, but I just do a butcher knot, which is an overhand knot, like doubled up, but not a double knot. You loop it around twice and then pull it, and it'll stay. If you want to, I think surgeon knot's 3 loops and holds a little better, but we're going to take it back off anyways. It ain't that big a deal. Now, what you want to do is take a pan that has these edges on it and fill it with your fat of choice. Not a ton, but enough. This pork is pretty lean. Y'all know I love bacon grease, but you can use olive oil or whatever the heck you want. But then stick them in there, and we're going to cover it with some foil. Now, keep in mind, if you want a nice easy meal, it's optional, but you're welcome to chop up some onions or peppers or taters or whatever the heck you want. Make it a little bit better. So we'll do that now. Once you're done chopping them up or whatever, I went with some bigger hunks and chunks, because there's one thing I've learned. The ladies love a good chunky hunk. You're going to throw this stuff in there too. Just kind of let it flop about. I'd recommend throwing a little bit of salt on your veggies. Maybe you can do it before if you don't want your pork too salty, but heck, I already got high blood pressure. What's a little more salt going to hurt, right? Once you get your foil on, you want to make sure it's nice and tight. You go ahead and toss it in the oven. Don't throw it too hard. You don't want to break that rack now. We got it around 350 today. I just seen all the dog hair in that last shot, so we cleaned off, and that looks a little better. I'm going to check it in about 30 minutes, and we'll see where she at. Alrighty, we're back, and it looks like it's done. So we just pulled it out. It's over temp. I might have let it go a little bit long. I was trying to get the onions and taters off. So what we did is drained out most of the juice. What we do is let it settle. Let's take a spoon. There's almost no grease on here, so this is just juice at this point. You toss it in your pan here. We're going to add up just a little bit of flour. That might be too much, but if so, we add a little butter, make it thicker. Stir it up. Alright, so we threw a little butter in there and got it all mixed up, and we're going to brown this for just a couple minutes. You don't want to burn it. This is what we call a roux, R-O-U-X. We're going to make some gravy. Once you got this browning up for just a couple minutes, nice little stir. I'm going to take some of this juice here. Incorporate it slow. It should still be warm, so you can go a little slower than cold milk. Just start to mix that up real good. Keep adding it till it's got a good consistency. We run out of juice and it's still too thick. Thought I put a little much flour. So what you can do is add something else. I'm using milk here, but I've used pepper juice, pickle juice, anything you think might be good. It ain't going to be too bad unless it's too salty. Mix it in real good. Still a little thick, so we'll add more. We want to make sure it starts to boil again before we add more liquid. As you get it about the consistency you want a little runny, because you're going to thick up more once you cool it down. Seasoned up, taste it. Like Gordon Ramsay tell you, make sure it tastes okay. I done add a little pepper, and if that was any saltier, I'd actually add a little bit more water and a little cornstarch to thicken it up and let the salt content go down, but that's about good. Next, we want to cut the strings on our pork. You sometimes untie them, but cutting them is just easier. I bet it feels good on this pork, like taking your pants off after a long day of work. Once you get that all done, you want to make sure you got all your strings out, especially if you're serving it to somebody else, because that ain't going to taste very good. You want to slice it up. As you can see, I overcooked it a little bit, about 10 degrees too much, but It'll be alright. I'm going to cover it up with gravy anyways. Time to plate. Now, if this is somebody else, I'd probably pull apart the onions and taters and not let any food touch, but it's for me. It's not going to look like poop in the end anyways, so go ahead and just dump some gravy on here. Take it in there, turn on some YouTube, and enjoy. And there you have it. Stuffed pork loin with taters and onions. About 15, maybe 20 minutes worth of cook time, prep time. The rest is all cook time. Yep. Say thank you for your food and enjoy it. Tune back in tomorrow, and we're gonna probably make some stuff with his leftovers. We'll see what it is. All right, thank you for watching.